everybody? This is Pastor Shay, aka Chaplain G, coming back at y'all with another word of encouragement for today. So, check this out. I want to tell y'all a little story, a Bible story. We just had a small little Bible study here in the office early on, and this is the passage we went through. So I want to read this to y'all, and I want to make 2 points out of it that I think will be helpful for everybody as we approach life, as we try to map out what 2023 is going to look like. I thought this was really good. Some really good points came up, and I wanted to share them with y'all. So it's going to come out of John chapter 5, and I'm going to read for a few verses, and I'm going to pull out a couple points that I want to make to y'all. So y'all check this out. John chapter 5, verse 1 says, "After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there was in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, in Aramaic called Bethesda, which has 5 roofed colonnades. In these lay a multitude of invalids, blind, lame, and paralyzed. One man was there who had been invalid 38 years. When Jesus saw him laying there and knew that he had already been there a long time, he said to him, 'Do you want to be healed?' The sick man answered him, 'Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I'm going, another steps down before me.' Jesus said to him, 'Get up, take your bed, and walk.' And at once the man was healed. And he took up his bed and walked. Now that day was the Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who had been healed, 'It is the Sabbath. It's not lawful for you to take up your bed.' But he answered them, 'The man who healed me? That man said to me, Take up your bed and walk.' They asked him, 'Who is this man who said to you, Take up your bed and walk?' Now the man who had been healed did not know who it was, for Jesus had withdrawn, as there was a crowd in the place. Afterward Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, 'See, you are well. Sin no more, that nothing worse may happen to you.' The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had healed him. And this was why the Jews were persecuting Jesus, because he was doing these things on the Sabbath. But Jesus answered them, 'My Father is working until now, and I am working.' This is why the Jews were seeking to kill him, all the more to kill him, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling God his own Father, making himself equal with God." So, like I said, I want to pull out 2 points. Man, there's a ton that I could pull out here, man. Like this study, y'all, it was only supposed to be an hour study, man, but we had so many questions, man. We had to take some extra time, so it ran over today. But here's the first thing I want to point out to you. I want to point out to you, first of all, the Jews. More specifically, it was probably the scribes and Pharisees, the religious and political elite of that day, right? They see this guy has been healed. They probably know that he's been invalid for like 38 years. And instead of like saying, praise God, like you're healed, we can't believe it, let's celebrate you. Instead they say, "You up walking around. Why are you carrying your bed around?" Yo, here's the thing. Haters gonna hate, right? Some people have such a terrible time with their own lives that they just can't celebrate you when you are trying to celebrate your own success. Yo, don't let people take away your joy, like especially if you're finding joy in the Lord, man. There's some people that are going to come against you and they're going to say stuff like, "Yo, you got to give up this. I could never live that way." Or "You believe this, and this? That doesn't make logical sense." Yo, God uses the foolish things of this world to shame the wise. Don't let people fool you and take away your joy. Man, if you're finding joy, if you're finding God in your life and things are beginning to bubble up for you, man, press on, man. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Don't let people like these scribes and Pharisees get under your skin. Just kind of bypass them. Here's the second thing. The dude himself earlier in the section, Jesus comes to him and he asks him a very poignant question. He says, "Do you want to be healed?" The man probably because he was a superstitious person. Like, the people were superstitious during this time, right? And even right now, we find ourselves to be pretty superstitious. Jesus is coming to him with a solution. The only thing he's able to cling to is the superstition that's right in front of him. Jesus is offering him something completely new, but this man can't look past himself to look at what Jesus is offering him. Yo, my encouragement for you today, Jesus is offering you life, and not just life, like abundant life. Don't continue to cling on to stuff that you think is going to be better for you. Like, don't continue to hold on to your views about how life works best, and how your marriage or your relationships work best, how your sexuality should work best, how this decision-making process should work, how all these things play out in your life. Jesus is offering something much better, man. He's offering not only abundant life in this life, but abundant life in the life to come. And what he's saying to you, what he's saying to this guy, that this guy couldn't see, was, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be healed from that crazy way of thinking? I'm offering you something different. He's saying it to this guy in this section. He's saying it to us today. My prayer for all of us is that you can see it, that you won't respond like this guy and continue to hold on to these false ideas about life. Jesus is offering something different. He's offering something more abundant. And what we see is Jesus commands him, get up and walk. Now, this guy hadn't walked for 38 years. It's not like his legs naturally shouldn't have been able to take the weight of his body. It's been 38 years since he's taken a step. I ruptured my Achilles. For a couple months, I couldn't walk on it because I had a boot on. When I go to take the cast off, everything's atrophied. Can you imagine 38 years of not using your legs? Do you know the muscle mass and your bone structure and all that has to be completely renewed in order for you to take that first step? And this man got up and walked. Not only did he get up and walk, but he took his bed with him. Man, Jesus is offering something better. He's offering something more abundant. Don't let the haters get you down. Don't let your own self, your own way of crazy thinking get in the way. Jesus is offering something better. So, yo, that's my word of encouragement for you, man. There was so much more that came out of it, and I had a really good time discussing the Bible with folks. And, yo, I just love doing this, man. I hope this is a word of encouragement for you. Yo, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, man. Yo, hit me up in the email. Drop me a line so I could be praying for you specifically. I would love to. All this is to the glory of God, man. And I'm glad y'all here with me. And yo, until next time, grace and peace.